We're dedicating this Devar Torah Le'ilu Nishmat Father Vadia member Reb Colin Frankel, and it's the Ilu Nishmat, as we said, his father, and may his father have an Aliyah Began Eden, amongst other things, B'zchut the Divrei Torah that will now be said in his memory. We're starting off the Parasha and the book of Bamidbar. And the Ramban, the Barbanel, everyone deals, what exactly is the essence, the content of the book of Bamidbar? The Barbanel speaks about that it's telling us about all the crises that the Jewish people had in between them leaving Mitzrayim and coming to Eretz Yisrael. And the Ramban says that the whole point is of Bamidbar is to tell us about the temporary miracles and mitzvot that were given to the Jewish people when they were in the Midbar. And we can just add on to the Ramban, like some people do, the Ayelet HaShachar, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted, before we came into Eretz Yisrael, that our lives should be of miraculous existence. And therefore, everything that is in the Midbar is describing the miracles that happened to the Jewish people in the Midbar. I want to share with you another explanation. It's based on something that I heard from a very fine Talmid Chacham, a colleague of who was okay to learn in Kerem B'Yavne, was a Shaliach of Mizrahi. He's a Ram in the Kollel of Bar Ilan, a very well-known Talmid Chacham in Eretz Yisrael. His name is Rav Nehemiah Taylor. So a long, long time ago, I hope I've got it right, Rav Nehemiah said that if we take the words from Bamidbar, if we take the letters, we take the Bet, and we take the Dalet, and we take the Resh. Those three letters, they always, when they come together, they always have a connotation of taking particulars and making them into a whole. For example, the word Dvorah, which is a bee, and it's got a Dalet, Bet, and a Resh. So what does a bee do? It takes thousands of particles, little particles of pollen, and what it makes it into like a whole, transforms it, and produces from that honey. If you take the word dever, dever is a plague. It's thousands and millions of insects coming together, and that concentrated mass of insects we call like a plague. If we take the words for speech, dibur, dalet again, dalet beit resh, it's to take various sounds and to make them into one whole, which gives an utterance. It gives it a dibur. It gives it something which is coherent. So therefore, what would Bamidbar also? Bamidbar, which is a desert, is also taking these millions and billions of granules of sand and concentrating them in one place, and that's what gives it that mess, a landscape and a place of a desert where nothing grows because there's so much sand. So using what this Yesod, which Rav Nehemiah shared, was that the whole point of the experience of Bamidbar was that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took all the Jewish people who until now were slaves in Egypt. We all lived a life as basically Am Yisrael, as individuals, each one's serving a different master. Now they're free. Now what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did was, in the Midbar, is how to make from all these individuals and also the various tribes, how to make them into a cohesive whole. And that is something which is very, very difficult. How do we put every single person, how do we structure the Jewish people that each one will find his place, each one contributes his, as an individual and as part of a tribe and as a collective, that Am Yisrael should function well. I'm speaking now Bamidbar. You look at the news now, you see that there might be a second time of Bechirot. They'll be in September the 17th. You can see just how difficult it is to satisfy all the various factions that there are in Am Yisrael. So you can imagine then when we're trying to develop Am Yisrael into a spiritual, formidable force, that they will be the Ola Goyim. So this is what the whole experience of Bamidbar was, and this brings to a lot of crises, as we know. And I'd like to end off that actually the Rambam in the end of Hilchot Melachim, the Rambam says that that one of the functions of the Mashiach is kibbutz galuyot, because kibbutz, the Rambam explains that kibbutz galuyot is not only to that there will be a gathering of the people, return of the Jewish people to Eretz Yisrael, but it's to, as the Rambam explains over there, kibbutz galuyot is that to somehow mold all the tribes together, to put each tribe in his ancestral place, that they should function in a proper way. So it's not just a matter of gathering, it's like molding. And this is the great message of Bamidbar, is how HaKadosh Baruch Hu now in the Midbar, how he took all the Jewish people as individuals and also as tribes and molded them into one cohesive whole, that they could be a Kiddush Hashem for themselves and for the Jewish people and for the whole of mankind.